Welcome to Quays News. It's 10:45.
Coming up this morning,
Labour's success in the polls.
UN to send further support to Ukraine.
The weather and sport coming up, plus showbiz with Leonie.
There's plenty of showbiz this week, with the Met Gala favourites and fails. Amber Heard has her screen time reduced for the upcoming Aquaman sequel, and Becky Hill teases collaboration with Joel Corey. All that and more from me shortly on Quays News.
The UN says a new convoy is going to Ukraine to save a number of civilians trapped underground with little food or water.
Keir Starmer said this is a big turning point for Labour after gaining votes across the nation, while the Conservatives are suffering losses in London. James joins us live from Media City with more.
The results of Salford's local elections were announced earlier today, with the Labour Party taking 49 seats. The Lib Dems took 2 and the Conservative Party took 1. This is Labour's worst result in Salford since 2008, with many calling for Keir Starmer to resign after another poor performance in the local elections. Back to you.
Here's the latest in showbiz with Leonie.
Latest news this week, the Met Gala, or as some like to call it, fashion's biggest night out, welcomed the stars to the red carpet for a designer's extravaganza with this year's theme of In America, an anthology of fashion with a gilded glamour dress code. A-list stars such as the Kardashians and Jenners, Bridgerton star Simone Ashley, rapper Stormzy and many more attended. The fashion favourites this year were led by actress Blake Lively, dressed by Atelier Versace. Her dress transformed from pink to blue in a design inspired by New York City. Kim Kardashian looks stunning in a vintage dress designed by Jean-Louis for Marilyn Monroe for her performance of Happy Birthday Mr. President in 1962, and is seen as a legendary dress in American entertainment history. The dress contains 2,500 crystals and was sold at auction in 2016 for $4.6 million. However, some outfits did miss the mark this year, with Kylie Jenner's ruffled white gown that was more fitting for a wedding than a red carpet. Designed by the late Virgil Abloh, the brand Off-White's founder, the dress was paired with a white baseball cap worn backwards with a veil. And Emma Stone disappointed in a simple white mini dress by designer Louis Vuitton. The haltered neck and feathered hem had little dramatic effect. The dress was recognised though, as if she wore it for her wedding reception in 2020. Amber Heard has less than 10 minutes of screen time in the upcoming Aquaman sequel, as claims of her reduced screen time come at the same time as a petition calling for the actress to be dropped completely from the film has reached 2 million signatures. The 36-year-old actress is currently undergoing a $50 million defamation case with her former partner Johnny Depp. However, it is unknown if Amber's role has been reduced due to the legal battle or whether her role in the film was intended to be short. Film journalist Grace Randolph tweeted about the reduced screen time. She posted, "I hear hashtag Amber Heard has less than 10 minutes of screen time in hashtag Aquaman 2. Johnny Depp was dropped by Disney for his iconic role of Captain Jack Sparrow for the 5th instalment of the Pirates of the Caribbean franchise after Amber alleged he had domestically abused her, which she has now denied. Gianne Larson, who began the petition, hoped the absence of her role in Aquaman 2 would prevent her alleged abuse from being glamorised. Now hopefully you recognise these two artists. Becky Hill has been teasing her fans on Instagram with the social media posts that have hinted at a collaboration with Joel Corey may be in the making. Becky posted an Instagram picture of her with the DJ. The caption read, "Joel, I'll see you in the studio next week, mate." Corey responded by saying, "So good to see you, and yes, I'm excited for next week." Fans have welcomed the news, leaving excited comments on the post, saying, "Now that's a collaboration I've been waiting for since forever." So, could this be the song of the summer? Who knows? That's all from me this week. Back to you in the studio.
James now has something interesting for us with a piece on the Northern Quarter.
Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is the Brentford preview. United hosted.
Stretford Paddock are one of the largest football channels on YouTube, with just under 1 million subscribers, and have their own studio, office space and even a shower. But you wouldn't think that some of Manchester's most creative jobs and industries are just round the corner over there. Lad Bible, Studio 68 and plenty of other creative businesses are all based in the Northern Quarter, which has now become a hub of all these businesses from converted cotton warehouses and textile industries from the Victorian era, and a new revolution is beginning to develop in the online world.
You're right in the middle of the city centre. I think that there's the rent, I wouldn't say it's cheap, but it's probably affordable to certain businesses that perhaps couldn't afford other places as well. And you know, it's a sort of busy, vibrant, exciting place to be. You know, you're surrounded by other like-minded businesses, and I think you just get that little bit of a snowball effect when you're in a place where other businesses are. It sort of helps you and gives you that little bit of a leg up at times as well, because you're in a place where you can, you know, you're around other businesses that may well work with.
With companies such as Lad Bible having a 360 million float in 2021, the commercial opportunities of being based in the Northern Quarter provide much more of an opportunity than being based elsewhere in the Northwest.
I think the Northern Quarter is kind of, you know, the last few years and stuff especially, you know, there's just the facts of just the bars around here, the coffees, shops and everything like that. Everyone just feels like it's a great creative space to do things. I think that's why I think it draws a lot of people here. I think that just, it, you know, for a place where you've got to be, you know, a lot of these places here are very artistic and things like that. I think the Northern Quarter kind of sums up that. It's got that Manchester spirit, but there's also that, probably I'd call it edginess of, like, you know, it's got a lot of graffiti and all that kind of stuff. It just puts you in the creative mindset, really. So I think that's why Northern Quarter's got so many of these businesses.
As new research shows that podcasts are projected to take over radio listening in the next decade, George Ike has some more about the world of podcasting.
Whether they're a regular visitor to your headphones or you prefer to play them during your car journeys, there's simply no escaping podcasts in today's world. iTunes first brought the podcast into our life in 2004, and over 15 years later, it's safe to say they're very different. This is radio presenter Jo Russell with her co-hosts Sparky and newsreader Katie. Her Brummy boyfriend loves model trains, the song Amazing Grace, and Aston Villa. Oh, and Jo. What he didn't know was that for over 2 years, she was recording him in secret and making a podcast that would reach over 1 million people and begin her very own podcast company.
You had your hair done, Jerma. It looks nice. When did you have that done?
This morning.
There's no grey.
How long have you been in? 20 minutes.
That's not bad.
What do you mean it's not bad? It's noticed that I've had all my hair dyed a different colour.
What do you mean if it's still brown? It's not pink, is it?
I asked her what makes a successful podcast.
I think initially it was the intrigue, because of the title and the premise of it. You know, I secretly recorded my boyfriend is exactly what I did. And so there's, well, firstly, intrigue in that. Secondly, oh my God, what on earth has she done to him? Poor guy. And it was unique. You know, there are a lot of podcasts all on doing the same thing. Agony Aunt podcasts, for example. You know, you can find 1,000 celebrities doing those, 1,000 non-celebrities doing those, and they're all of a similar vein. I don't think you can find anywhere else in the podcast world doing what we did with ours.
Podcasts are certainly on the rise, with more and more subscriptions, downloads and listens every week. For now, podcasts continue to grow, with the global podcast industry valued at $11.4 billion, and more companies launch, editing and producing podcasts on topics from Line of Duty to Mrs. Hinch's home cleaning hacks. George Ike reporting for Quays News.
Now for the sports, and with the latest is our sports correspondent, Lewis.
Well, it was a night to forget for Manchester City as they went out of the Champions League to Real Madrid, 6-5 on aggregate. Riyad Mahrez's goal in the 73rd minute wasn't enough as the Spanish side made a mighty comeback, thanks to a double from Rodrigo, sending the game to extra time. And after a penalty conceded by City centre-back Ruben Diaz, it was the talisman Karim Benzema to send the Galacticos through to another Champions League final where they will face Liverpool, a repeat of the final in 2018.
And now the weather with Johnny.
Hello and welcome to the weather forecast. After a pleasant week of weather in our part of the world, today sees a change, with a wet outlook expected for this afternoon. Heavy rain is expected across Salford from 3 o'clock. However, come this weekend, fine and dry weather is expected to return, with a high of 19 degrees. Next week's weather is looking good, fine and dry with a high of 23 degrees. That's your weather. Back to the studio.
That's all from us today. Come back next time for more. Until then, thanks for listening.
Goodbye.